All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's virtual write-in with NaNoWriMo. I am Jordan Lee. I'm the editorial intern here at NaNoWriMo. And Grant, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Grant Faulkner. I am the executive director at NaNoWriMo, and this is my first virtual write-in of the month, and I'm super excited about it. So
Yes.
welcome.
Yes, thank you so much for joining me today. And
Yeah.
Also, I forgot to mention I use he, him pronouns. Grant, how about you? What are your pronouns?
Oops. Sorry, I've got two windows open.
Oh, no.
Give me 1 second.
That's so funny. I was watching a live stream the other night, and the exact same thing happened at the right at the outset. They could hear themselves coming out of their own computer.
I'm trying to find this window to turn off my volume.
Well, go ahead and take a moment for that. How is everyone else doing? Thank you guys for joining us. I hope we see some familiar faces today. It looks like we do. Feel free to let us know where you're coming from, what's going on there this week. Just give us a shout out. I love to see people. We get people from all over. Oh, hello, Zara writes again from England, and Writer Lady 2 from Chicago. This is great. I love to see you guys come back. I love to see the new faces. So it's fabulous. Thank you for joining us. And this is a great community. So just feel free to chat, talk to us, talk to each other, help each other out if you want to help answer any questions from any newbies, or you just want to offer tips and advice, please do so. We love that. That's what we're here for. We're here to be together and be part of the community and just get our creative juices flowing and kind of relax and have fun, but just get in the right mindset. So welcome. We're going to have some fun today.
Thank you, Jordan. And sorry, I had the dual window of sound was kind of freaking me out, and I don't know how horribly I handled that, but thank you. And apologies to all of our viewers. I'm sure that wasn't fun. I'm going to say that I've got a special prop here. It's a big NaNoWriMo pencil. It says NaNoWriMo on it. It's big. We're going to do some big writing today. We're going to finish this month strong.
Very nice.
So thank you for joining us. I've now got all my windows situated. I don't expect any freakish interruptions anymore, unless it comes from beyond my computer, and I welcome that. It'll be inspiring.
That's what to do. Yeah, when you encounter adversity, turn it into a story, because those are the best stories.
Yeah, boy, we got a lot of people here.
Hi, Kim.
Somebody wants the pencil.
Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. For those of you that have been here before, you kind of know the drill. But for everyone that is new, this is just going to be about an hour where I'm going to provide you with some writing prompts. And those are there if you want them. They're really great if you are getting a little stuck and you need some inspiration, or you just need to, kind of loosen yourself up a bit. So feel free to use the writing prompts. You can also take whatever prompts I give you and adjust them to your needs. You can change them up, or you can completely ignore them, and you're still more than welcome to be here and participate and share what you've written. So this is a very laid back group, and we're just here to have fun and get in the right frame of mind. So
guaranteed success.
Exactly. Guaranteed
across the board.
Absolutely. So thank you again, everyone, for joining us. It looks like we have got a wonderful crew of people from all over the world again.
Florida, DC. Amazing.
Hi, Aria Reeds from Florida. Savvy Book Reviews, you're back. Welcome back. I'm so glad to have everybody. Misty Kate, hello again. And I hope we get some more new faces. Thank you guys for spreading the word. This is going to be our last official VWI for the month of April for the camp, program we're doing. And so I do have sort of a theme based around that. So I hope everybody is ready to dive in and enjoy with me. All right, let's see. Was there anything else we wanted to talk about, Grant, before I dive into the prompts that we want to share with them about what's going on at NaNoWriMo right now?
I think two things. We're here in the last few days of camp, and so I just encourage everybody to finish strong, and I think that's going to happen because everyone has shown up to this magical write-in. Yeah. And then, I love it when people keep writing. And the NaNoWriMo site is different than it used to be way back in the day. Like you can keep working on your project, you can keep recording your word count, you can keep setting goals, and
Absolutely.
you can set those goals and deadlines however you want them. They don't have to be within a month. So I just want to encourage people to keep writing after camp and to write year round. And if you're only halfway through with your novel on May 1st, see if you can finish it afterwards.
Yeah. Try not to lose the momentum. And to that point as well, I also want to remind everybody that the unique thing about camp is you can set your own goal and you can change your goal. So as funny as it may sound, if you haven't started, you can actually still start. You have a few more days. If you want to just set a goal for the final days of April, you can probably manage that.
Yeah.
So don't lose your momentum. Feel free to join in even now.
Yeah. And keep inviting friends to write with you too.
Absolutely. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yeah, that helps so much to have other people working with you, and that's what we're here for. Feel free to connect with each other today. We've got a lot of familiar faces. We got a lot of new faces. Feel free to join groups, create groups, or whatever. Just help each other out today. And this will be the last virtual write-in of camp, but we will have others, and we'll keep you informed. So be sure to hit subscribe as well, just so that you can get those notifications when we're going to be here.
Way to go.
All right. Don't cry, don't cry. I see a lot of emojis, tear face emojis. We'll still be here. We're still here for you. So, and I have absolutely loved being part of this community with you guys. So I will definitely be around, not to worry. And we will be here as much as, we are going to be a year-round resource for you. So don't worry too much. We'll be back.
Yeah.
All right.
In fact, we never go away.
We never go away. All right. Well, let's get started. Let's dive in, okay?
Yeah.
So, as I said, this is the last week of camp. And to that end, I created a few prompts for you guys today that is going to focus on sort of getting ourselves unstuck, because a lot of people start to sort of lose their momentum at the end and get a little, caught up in the muck. So I had the idea to write some prompts for us that are going to try to challenge the boundaries of our story. And it's just it might not work perfectly with what you're writing. And if you are writing something and you're going strong, keep that momentum, do whatever you want, continue writing what you're doing. But if you need something to just sort of help you break out of whatever point you're stuck at, then this could be a good way to just be a little more playful and creative and imaginative. And so these are there if you want them. As I said before, use them, change them up, or ignore them. But we're going to start with a little warm-up prompt. We're going to take about 5 minutes. And Grant, would you like to time us for that?
I'm out of time. I've been waiting all day to do this. I love my phone timer here.
Excellent.
Should I start? We're going for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll give everybody the prompt.
Oh,
And I wanted to mention as well that Catherine is also taking care of the chat for us. She's going to be putting the prompts in the chat and there to answer any questions that you have for us. So thank you, Catherine, for doing that. So she will post the prompt. I will read you the prompt. And if anybody is joining late and needs help, everybody is welcome to join in and help with that as well. I love to see that. You guys are great. All right.
All right.
So today, for our warm-up
Go
prompt,
big, everyone.
Okay, here we go. Write a scene that incorporates something out of place. Is it a cowboy hat in outer space? Or a mobile phone in ancient Egypt? Or maybe a ghost in an ice cream parlor? How can we explain this peculiarity? So just think about something that just doesn't seem to go together at all, and then write a quick little, story around it. We're going to take 5 minutes. It's just going to be a word sprint. Go crazy, have fun. And Grant, you want to go ahead and time us?
I'm going to start it. I'll give you updates as we get closer to 5 minutes.
Yeah, if you want to let us know, it's only 5 minutes, so just maybe like a minute to 5.
Okay, that sounds great.
Thank you.
We're at 10 seconds. We are at 4 minutes.
All right, thank you.
Time.
All right, thank you so much, Grant. Everyone, just take a minute to finish up what you're writing, and feel free to share anything that you've written in the chat, just a sentence or two. And if you rather share your word count, that's fantastic as well. And it doesn't matter if you followed the prompt or you did something a little different. We're happy to hear what you did with it. Everything, everyone always interprets these things differently or does their own thing sometimes, and it is all inspiring. So please go ahead and share whatever you've got. How did that go for you, Grant? Did you do a little, did you follow the prompt or did you do something totally different?
A little bit of both. Instead of doing, well, I did a word sprint, but I made it into kind of a poem that
Nice.
all about things listing things that were out of place. And I was thinking of it kind of like a Dr. Seuss type of poem, which made me think that it could be a children's book. So
Absolutely. I love that idea. That's fantastic.
yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah, if you actually polish that up, I'd be happy to see it.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah.
That sounds excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had fun with that. I actually kind of combined a couple of my own ideas, and I started working on something about a ghost in space.
Yeah.
Because I thought, I don't know of any ghost stories that take place in outer space.
I know,
like
how odd.
Well, you think about ghosts and they usually haunt old, historical places. And we haven't, we don't have a lot of places in space. Although if we're writing in the future, that could be a thing. So
yeah, or you could take an outer space story like Star Wars and make it into a ghost story,
Yeah, I actually I'm liking this idea. I might take this and run with it a
I
little
do
more.
too. I often think that mixing genres is like a really, fruitful thing to do. It's a really cool, creative thing to do, but it's also, I think, just makes for a good story.
Yeah, no, that's actually one of my favorite things is when you take something that people think they know what you're going to do and then you totally mix it up.
Yeah. Okay, I want to see your novel, your ghost story in outer space, and a cowboy hat has to figure in there somehow.
Yeah, yeah. I love this idea. Yeah, I will definitely share this when I get there. But
Yeah.
how's everyone else doing? Let's take a
Let's
look.
read the chat. Yeah.
All right. Looks like Shannon has 109 words. Great job. Michelle got 165. You should be proud, Michelle. I would be very proud of that.
I want to answer Allie Alexis Spriggs' questions. Have either of you seen Blobby lately? And I haven't. Blobby's usually, I'm in the office today, and Blobby's usually here.
Yeah.
But I think Blobby went on a foray, and I think Blobby might be with Catherine. So Catherine could answer that. But have you seen Blobby, Jordan? You've never even met Blobby, actually.
I haven't met him in person yet, or her. Who knows? Maybe Blobby is
who knows?
Non-denominational, but
yeah.
Yeah, I remember somebody saying that they had taken Blobby home with them. It might have been Shelby. I'm not sure.
Okay.
And he was on a shelf. And he came down once in a while to socialize with people, and then he would go back up on the shelf, kind of surveying the kingdom.
Blobby will come. We'll get Blobby back for another.
Yeah, we should do that. We still have Blobby, so he's not gone. He's not forgotten.
I enjoy people's concern about him, though.
Yeah, he appreciates that. He or she did.
Open Circle's got 144 words. Way to go.
Excellent.
Got a kiss for Blobby from Misty Kate.
Abby Hannah says, guzzling down ice cream at an inhuman pace He
Ooh,
went back to his parlor to get more where his brain froze and he died.
wait, this
That's
is a
the
story about
story.
Blobby?
That's the story of the ghost in the parlor.
Oh, that's good.
That's great, Abby. Thank you for that. Uh,
Kimberly didn't use the prompt, but wrote 150 words toward the daily goal of 2,000 words, which is a lot. So way to go,
yes.
Kimberly.
Yeah,
Best
it's
way to
fantastic.
best way to reach or to knock those big word counts. Take control of them by just inching away or just taking little segments, 150 words at a time.
Mm-hmm. No, that's what we're here for. We're just here to try to get that momentum back and keep it going. And yeah, just whether you're going to work on something else than your primary project, just to sort of loosen yourself up a little bit, or whether you're going to continue what you've been doing, anything is fine. And like I said, for anybody that's just joining us late as well, the prompts are there for you if you want them, and you can take them or leave them or change them up. It's all good. It's all great. It's inspiring for everybody. So please share your work, share your word counts, and just help us all keep each other going. We're cheering each other on. Let's see. Mark Spector says Jessica drank some Gatorade and walked back to her dorm room and turned on the TV set. To Netflix, of course. She crashed on her bed and let out a ferocious scream of discontent. Uh-oh. Oh no. We're going to have to continue that one, Mark.
We do have a question about where Sporgy is, and I know Sporgy. I think Sporgy is somewhere around here, although Catherine might be able to answer that one as well.
Okay.
I will look for Sporgy.
Yeah, you're in the office today, so you should do a little hunt. uh, Lindsay Warney says, my cat has decided it's time for me to pet her. Yeah, my cat likes to intrude as well.
No kidding. My dog. I have my dog, but my dog is very much like a cat.
Mm-hmm.
He sits on my lap while I write.
Yeah,
Michelle
that can
has
actually be very helpful at times, but at other times they're just like, no, you're not writing right now.
exactly. Yeah.
You're paying attention to me.
Michelle has an ambitious word count goal of 15,000, 3 times the word count of the last story
Oh my
she
gosh.
wrote.
Wow. Good
Go,
luck.
Michelle.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. And if you don't meet that goal, you're gonna come close. So hang in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
The disruptions of cats and dogs
Mm-hmm.
and other animals, creatures, ghosts, whatever.
Bird.
It can be good, I think. I think sometimes it's annoying, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it can be really good because I think sometimes getting up and down and moving and just having to think of something else, it can be
Oh
creatively
yeah.
stimulating.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes we have to pause and give these creatures thanks for, interrupting us.
A little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit.
As long as it's not taking us away too much, but absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's too easy for us to get stuck in our heads and forget about our bodies sometimes.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
also easy to get stuck on your train of thought as well. And it's good to stretch your mind and your legs once in a while. So
Yeah. Yeah. What's your favorite type of break, Jordan?
that's an interesting question. I do like to take walks. My favorite type of break would probably be to take a walk to the cafe and get myself
Yeah.
like a coffee to reward myself.
What a good, healthy break.
Right. Negligible on the healthy, but I actually have been doing better. I've been getting like the iced green tea latte instead of my, super over sugared. I mean, that still probably got too much in it, but
Yeah.
I'm inching toward a little bit more healthy lifestyle.
I think we can call that a nourishing break. Nourishing for the
Yeah,
soul, the
I
mind, the
get my
body.
steps in. Yeah. How about you, Grant? What's your favorite?
I think a walk is a very healthy writing break, and there's a long history of writers who are walkers, and
Yeah,
not to get too much into literary history, but Wordsworth used to. That's how he composed his poems. He would go on
that,
these long
yeah,
walks and think about them. So I think there's something about that pacing of
yeah.
striding, So I think it's very healthy. But I think that's when I'm at my best. When I'm at my worst, I just hop over to social media and kind of check it every like 15 minutes. So I take a lot of mini breaks.
Yes, I'm trying to do less of that, because that can become a mental habit as well and
Mhm.
be very distracting. But walks are fantastic because there's always something to see when you go for a walk, whether it's in nature, whether it's an urban environment, there's always something to sort of get you thinking and inspired. So it's perfect.
Yeah, they've done
And
a bunch of psychological studies on it too, and it actually
yeah,
it's
yeah,
proven to help creativity.
absolutely.
Yeah. I'm,
Well, we should probably dive into the next prompt. I don't want to run out of time here.
yeah.
All right, you guys, are you ready to go for another one? This is going to be our first 10-minute prompt. So we're going to take 10 minutes, and thank you guys again for answering questions in chat. This is something that you're going to write on your own wherever you are. You can write on a regular piece of paper with a pencil like Grant, or you can write on your computer, your tablet, whatever, your phone. But just you'll be able to share bits of what you've written with us as soon as we're done with the sprint. So let's see what we can do for this next one. All right. So prompt number 2, and as I said, this is going to be a 10-minute sprint. It's going to be a little longer than the last one, and Grant will time us.
Mhm.
This is actually the prompt that kind of inspired me to create this one today. So while focusing on the fantastical elements of our story, sometimes we forget about the mundane ones. So write a scene where a character solves a seemingly complicated problem with a very mundane solution, like a phone call or something. And this doesn't have to be, I was originally thinking technology, and that was honestly because I heard somebody say that a lot of stories with complicated conflicts could have easily been resolved by just a quick phone call. And I was thinking, yeah, that's something we should probably think about that we often overlook. But I want you to this can be very broad. It can apply to different genres. So like maybe we're looking at a magical wizarding fight, but instead of using a spell, the main character trips their opponent. So just play around with this. Just think about different ways to solve problems that are totally unexpected and a lot more simple than you were originally planning, and take 10 minutes and just see what you get. And again, if you don't want to do this and you have something else you're doing, absolutely do that. And we'll all come back and share what we're doing afterwards. So Grant, do you want to give us 10
I
minutes?
love this one. Here we
Thank
go.
you. And give
10
and give
minutes.
us a heads up at the halfway mark for this one.
Halfway mark. Okay.
Thank you.
We're at 5 minutes and 44 seconds. I neglected my 5 o'clock, my 5 minute mark.
That's fine. Thank you so much.
Last 30 seconds.
All right.
And time.
Perfect. Thank you, Grant. Appreciate it. All right. How did that go for everyone? How about you, Grant? How did that go?
It was harder than the last one.
It was.
Yeah.
And it was, I had some trouble with it myself.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting exercise. I was thinking of this when you were saying it, that part of the reason that like the phone isn't used, it is true that so often a phone call would solve everything.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not used because like writing a story is all about complicating things and making the complications like whirl out of control. you know.
Exactly.
But it made me think that that's also what life often is that we
Mhm.
oftentimes don't pick up the phone call or just listen in a very simple way to another person or ask
Mhm.
them a question or two. And so because we have this human inclination to drama, I guess, right?
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think we need to take a life lesson from this exercise. It's very interesting to me to think about it, how we tend to complicate things. How,
Yeah, it's probably true.
how about you?
Yeah, so I kind of didn't follow it. What I was doing, I was thinking about I have a character that's an AI character that is
Uh-huh.
like a living, artificial intelligent being that has constant access to the entire, World Wide Web of information. And I'm actually trying to think about like how can I incorporate this character without it constantly being able to solve everything by having every, all information immediately, at its quote unquote fingertips. So
Could some of
yeah.
the information be wrong though?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of what I was thinking about. I was thinking about that, and I was wondering if there was ever a case where it would not be able to access the information for whatever reason. Because like we have reception issues, but I don't know if that would affect my character. So
Yeah.
so yeah, these are the things. I mean, like you say, it's not the type of stuff that we generally think about in our own lives or in our stories, but it could be good just to give it some thought, give it some consideration, and you know avoid any obvious missteps like that because it's just easily forgotten.
Yeah. That sounds really interesting. I like challenging access to the web for its supposed promised salvation.
For its accurate, absolutely, that could definitely be an interesting story
Yeah.
if you relied on it too heavily for its quote unquote truth content.
As we've learned these last
Yeah.
few years.
Oh yeah, more and more all the time. Well, how's everyone else doing? Oh my gosh, we got a lot of word counts going. This
I
is
am seeing
amazing.
some big word counts.
Hmm.
Natalia, 254, Lunacy
Oh wow.
Jewel, 309, Tanisha, Lindsay, 261. Those are some great
It's,
efforts.
yes, it is all good, man. I told you guys last time. I'm a very slow writer, so I always have a very low word count. But I'm just happy if I got anything written. So you guys need to really give yourselves a pat on the back. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Great job. All right, what do we have written here? Ali Alexis Spriggs says, "Where'd all these people come from?" he asked. "You said we needed backup, so I called in some backup," she replied, confused. "I mean, we need it, but we could handle it. Why be complicated?"
I love
That's
that one.
perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, I love too many people showing up for backup.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is great. You know what this reminds me of actually? There was a scene in one of the original Indiana Jones that
Uh-huh.
I remember hearing in a documentary or something was supposed to be this really protracted battle, and Harrison Ford was sick at the time, and he's like, "No, I'm not going to be able to pull this off," and so he like pulled out his gun and shot the bad guy, and that was the end of the scene, and that made it in the movie, and
Yeah,
it's
that was
like
a great scene.
people love that scene, but it was
Yeah,
not the original plan.
that's hilarious because I totally remember that scene.
Yeah, yeah, and apparently it was just because he was sick, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't have time for this today."
It just goes to show you an obstacle, a crisis can be an opportunity.
It can. Everything can be an opportunity, yeah, because that ended up being one of the most memorable moments, and it
Hey,
just, defied expectations. So,
I got to call out Zara Wrights here, who wrote 607 words.
oh my God,
That is that is
I don't know
some
how you do it, Zara, but that is amazing.
that's some fast writing.
Seriously, you go. That is so cool. Aria Reed says, right when Abby and Charlotte were just finishing their 59th lap, Bodhi brought out a hot dog that had lint all over it. He took a bite out of it.
Oh my.
Abby and Charlotte regurgitated. Oh dear, that doesn't sound appetizing.
Lint and hot dogs.
Mm, yeah, that's another unexpected combination. Oh my goodness. Abby Rhubarb says, now I want to write about an AI that loses its internet connection and has to figure out what its personality is. See?
Ah, good
Very
one.
nice, Abby. I think you should do it. I like this idea.
That
uh,
is perfect because it's like the Achilles heel or the
mhm.
vulnerability, And it's a simple
Yeah,
thing. It's a simple thing, right? A simple vulnerability.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they can seem, all powerful, but easily vulnerable at the same time.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Nile Woman says, my male MC has to expose, oh, it disappeared on me, has to expose a plot that threatens classic literature. Ooh. He has to document everything that he's heard, but all he has is a pair of knitting needles and a large ball of yarn. So he knits.
I was just reading that one.
I
So
love it. I love it.
yeah, so he's knitting the plot that's threatening classic literature, I guess.
Yeah. Oh,
That
that's perfect.
that will be a great sweater.
For sure. Uh, Anthony Stevens says, I had my protagonist confuse the antagonist by just deciding he did not want to enter the tomb anymore or care about the book. That does sound like antagonistic behavior. I'm done with this. I'm no longer interested.
Arya reads, when she opened her mouth to speak, Charlotte interrupted her. You know, you could have just put on a mask and carried us to the bathhouse. So yeah, that is a fascinating, simple solution to, I want to know the complication behind that.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
It's interesting to get these little tidbits of everybody's writing because it always leads to so many more questions, but that in itself is like a prompt,
totally.
it gets everyone thinking, what's the rest of that story?
Yeah.
Uh, oh, thank you guys so much. I'm glad that you are enjoying this and here with us and just writing. This is what we're here for. And thank you again for everyone for encouraging each other and answering questions. You guys are fantastic. It's always wonderful to read you guys and be with you guys. So
Hey, Jordan, can I talk a little bit about? I think I have some NaNoWriMo lore here
oh,
that, that
absolutely.
that fits right in with this. It's like a simple solution to a complex problem.
Oh, please
And
share.
and so way back, like I think it was the year 2007 or something. That there comes a point where like everybody in the middle of a novel, you hit the wall, and
Mhm.
you're just kind of treading water, or stuck in the quicksand. And so
Yep.
somebody in the forums, and I can't remember the name of the person, like that's kind of the point where you need to introduce more conflict and kind of amp up the conflict. And
Mhm.
so somebody in our forums named the traveling shovel of death, as it's called. We have a little shovel here, and this traveling shovel of death takes on these kind of ferocious
I love
magical
it.
qualities. And literally, I mean, people have used the traveling shovel of death in their novels for years and years and years, and had the traveling shovel of death like kill hundreds,
Wow.
thousands of people. I'd like to say that the traveling shovel of death has probably killed more people in novels than any other creature in the history of literature. I don't know if we can prove this, but I think it's true.
We're
But
gonna
it's
go
a
with it. Yeah.
but it's a simple solution, right? It's just a
Yeah.
shovel, and it introduces all this conflict and gets all these complicated novels through the muddy middle to the finish line. So
That is
I
so
think,
fantastic.
yeah,
That
so I
is
think
perfect.
it's a good thing to remember now in the last
Yeah.
week, is like never shy away from conflict, especially
Or
simple conflict.
if you are stuck, shovel your way out.
Yeah, exactly. You can do a lot of things with the traveling shovel of death.
The traveling shovel of death, everyone. Don't forget about that. That can be handy at any time in your process. I love it. And it fits perfectly, like you said. So thank you. That is a unexpected and simple solution that you can really have a lot of fun and creativity with. So that is right down our alley. Thank you, Grant.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we look for complicated solutions to complicated problems.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think sometimes it is something simple we need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, guys, I wanted to ask you too to talk amongst yourself a little about that today. Just are you one of those people that overcomplicates things, and does that extend to your character? Or are you somebody that finds a lot of different solutions and just goes with whatever works? It's an interesting thing to think about. And another thing is like things do tend to have like multiple solutions, and people tend to be complicated. So how do you incorporate these things and still make sense of it in a story? That's always another challenge. How do you
Super.
make complicated characters that don't seem contradictory, or characters? How do you avoid making characters that are too simple? These are some of the challenges. So guys, talk about that. If you guys have any tips or advice, please share it in the chat and just help each other out with this, because this is something we all have to deal with.
I actually love this question, and I'll say I have two thoughts. One is you mentioned the word contradictory, and
Mhm.
sometimes I think that that's the place to go. Is like how weird we are. Like all of us are not one thing, right? We have so many
Right.
different layers to ourselves, and
Yeah.
so many of those layers are often in conflict. And so, I heard a writer when I first decided to become a writer, Sam Shepard. He said he always tries to write to the contradiction, and
Interesting.
yeah, and so I think he's trying to write to that inner conflict, I guess,
Hmm.
which I think is one way to view it. And then I'm just remembering, gosh, I think it was, oh, now I can't remember which writer gave me this writing prompt, but I thought it was a really good way to explore your character. It was like, have your main character or a character be waiting in line at Starbucks and have someone cut in front of them, and see what your character's reaction to that is. And I thought it's such a telling
Bonus
moment, right?
prompt. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a great one. Yeah, I like to think about this because I consider myself a pretty complicated person.
We all
And I
are.
feel like I think to myself, nobody would believe me if I were a character in a story, because I'm so all over the place. But it's a good exercise to try to find those contradictions in a character and figure out how they work, how that makes sense, because it does make for a much more dynamic and believable character if you can do it right. But that's the challenge. So
Hmm.
that's always the challenge in fiction. Well, we're getting close to the end. I'm going to have to dive into our last prompt of the day, guys. But thank you so much for being here. I love this community. You guys are fantastic, and it's definitely the highlight of my week. I hope everybody has gotten a lot out of this. I'm gonna give you the last prompt, and then we're gonna stay around. We'll probably go over a little bit because we're at the last 10 minutes officially. But Grant, are you all right to go over a few minutes?
I am all right. I would love to. I would love to just go over for hours.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you guys the prompt. Grant is going to time us. We're going to take another 10 minutes. And then at the end of it, let's all come back and share what we've got, what we've written, what we've done, and just take a moment to enjoy each other's community and enjoy the momentum that we've got going, the creativity. All right. So, final prompt of the day. Write an alternate world version of your character. Remember, this whole theme today is about sort of breaking boundaries and stretching the boundaries of your story in case you're getting stuck. You don't have to use this, but this is what we've got for today. Write an alternate world version of your character. Who would they be, and what would they be doing if the major events of your story hadn't happened to them? You could base this in the world of your story. For example, maybe they'd start a family, or in a different world entirely. So maybe if they lived in the real world, they would have a YouTube channel where they'd give makeup tips. Just think about what they might be like if they weren't affected by the major events of your story. And take a few minutes, take 10 minutes and write about that. And then we'll all come back and share what we've written, whether it's to the prompt or not. All right, Grant, want to give us 10?
Yeah, and later on, I'll introduce everybody to my YouTube channel that features me recommending makeup tips. But that's for later. Very good.
Sounds good.
We're at 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
About 30 seconds.
Okay.
And time.
Thank you, Grant. All right, everyone, take a moment to wrap it up and please share what you've written in the chat if you feel like it. That was a challenging one. I set myself up for some hard ones, man. I started out thinking about what my character would be in the real world, and that was just way too wide open. And it really made me think about how much we are shaped by our challenges, you know, us and our characters. So I had to transition that to, okay, what would he be in his universe if he weren't affected by these things? And I decided he would be an AI doctor. So that's something fun to think. That's something I never thought about before, an AI doctor. You know, I started to go with technician, but if they're alive, then I think doctor is probably more appropriate. What about you, Grant? How did that go for you?
It's interesting because the possibilities are endless, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so you do kind of have to make a choice
Exactly.
of an alternative universe. I've been enjoying this list making, so
Yeah.
I made a list of what my character wasn't because he didn't do certain things that he'd already done in this world, and
Mhm.
then listed the possibilities essentially. So I kind of wrote like
That's
another kind of farcical poem, but it was really fun.
Yeah,
But I
no, that's a
did,
really good approach though as well that people can use. So
yeah, because I did include your YouTube example. That is one thing. And then in one alternate universe, he's a professional skipper. So meaning that like skipping is the most popular sport in that universe.
wow.
Wish
That's
it
so
was
cool.
here.
Yeah, right. I know. I've seen people actually mention that before, that they wish like running and dancing and skipping were more like socially agreeable things to do,
Yeah.
at least after a certain age. So that's a great one. And I like that approach. Honestly, like for these sprints, I mostly do brainstorming, and listing is good. Anything that, you know, just taking the time here with everyone to think about what we're working on is really a good thing. So I'm happy for the opportunity. How did everyone else do? Looks like we've got a lot of word counts. Oh my goodness.
Zara, Zara writes hit 1,725 words over this virtual write-in. That is amazing.
We bow to you. Sorry. That is
Yeah.
mind blowing. Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Natalia got 705 total and 287 on the last print.
Wow. Wow. This is fantastic.
It's so nice to see these word counts, just like
Mhm.
the proof of writing, of all this creativity that happened in this short time period.
It's wonderful. I mean, look what you can accomplish in just this brief period. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm just scrolling back here a little bit.
Jordan, do you
Um,
know what Minka juice is?
I have no idea. What is it?
I don't know. It's figuring in Aria Reed's novel, so I just
Oh
wanted to
dear.
know.
I
But
wonder if that's a real thing or if it's something in the story.
that's what I was wondering too. Is it like kombucha or?
Ah, yeah, could be.
But
Oh my goodness.
I interrupted you though. You were
No,
saying
no, no. I
something.
was just scrolling back. Probably leaving said uh they're trying it out as a dream sequence. That was a good idea. Anything can happen
Yeah.
in a dream. Absolutely. That's always a handy tool. Yeah. If you want to kind of veer a little bit out of your normal story, but still be within the framework, that's a great idea. Good
Hmm.
job.
Here's a good one from Anthony Stevens. It's interesting. So Anthony's main character stutters and goes to a special institute because of that. And so Anthony made an alternate universe. He did not stutter. So it's a
Interesting.
whole different, take one trait away and put
Yeah,
them in, it puts them in a whole new kind of context.
it does. And yeah,
Mhm.
then you have to ask the question like what caused the stutter in the first place? Is it
Yeah,
nature?
good
Is it
one.
nurture? Yeah, that's a very interesting one. Nice.
Hmm.
I love this right here. Joe's Mad World says, I don't know why alt reality protagonist is running from skull headed kaiju ghouls, but he is, and it rocks. Oh, that's delightful.
I want to congratulate YM Nelson for winning camp this morning
Oh
and
my God, that's fantastic. Good
and
job.
for continuing to write. The last sprint provided good ideas for a short story.
Yeah, yeah, guys, keep writing every month, not just during Camp and NaNoWriMo in November. This is what we're here for. We got to
And
keep momentum.
and thank you, Abby Rhubarb, for telling me that National Skipping Day was last week. I'm gonna put that on my calendar for next year. I'm sorry I missed it.
For real. That should become, I mean, like, if it's great if it is already a thing, but that needs to be more well known, because if there's a day that we're all allowed to skip, I am on it.
Yeah, we got to integrate that into camp. You know,
That's a good idea. Yes.
yeah,
Oh, wow. Guys, it has been so wonderful to meet with you all each week and just share in the creativity and the positivity and the enthusiasm. I cannot thank you enough. And I will still be around. I'm not exactly sure yet when we're going to do the next virtual write-in, so be sure to hit that subscribe just so that you get the notification. I know I have to get those notifications to remember it, and I want to see you here. I love having familiar faces back. I don't always get to shout out to everybody, during this thing, but I love to go back and see what you said and see how you kind of played along and joined in with this with me. I can't give you enough appreciation for that. So thank everyone for being here. I hope to see you all again very soon. Keep writing every day. Don't forget, we have NaNoWriMo. We've got some great resources just for helping you finish your novel if you're getting toward the end. Good luck finishing camp. Hopefully you got a little more work done today. And like I said, feel free to adjust those goals as needed. It's very flexible. The important thing is to just keep going. Don't give up.
yeah,
Thank
and
you, kid.
that's what's behind this resetting the goal. It's not necessarily to make it easier for you to finish, but it's to, if you're behind and so far behind that you don't feel like you can hit the goal,
Yeah,
make another reasonable goal so you can keep writing and feel good about
precisely.
your writing. Yeah.
Yeah. If stuff comes up, don't lose your faith that you're going to get there. Just be reasonable, take that into account, make an adjustment, see like what can I actually accomplish with the time that I have remaining, and do that.
Hmm.
So yeah, just maintain your positive energy and keep going strong. We love you guys. You're fantastic. You've been so great. This community has been one of the best that I've worked with. So thank you. Thank everyone for participating with me. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Catherine, for being in the chat. Hopefully I'll see
Yeah.
you all again real soon, but good luck with the final little sprint here toward the end, and keep writing.
Go big.
Bye,
Thanks, everyone.
everyone.